Welcome to the third part in a series where I talk about some of my favorite Batsuits from every media. If you haven't seen the first two parts, be sure to go check them out on my channel, and I'll also have them linked down below in the description. In each episode, I take a look at 5 different Batsuits. I don't rank them because that'd be too difficult, but I just briefly discuss some of the things that I love about each suit. So far, I've only touched on suits that have appeared in the comics, but in this video, I'll be highlighting some of my favorite live-action Batsuits. So, let's get into it. Batman v Superman's base suit. The standard Batsuit in Batman v Superman is a pretty much perfect adaptation of the gray bodysuit that we typically see in the comics. It's form-fitting, textured, and imposing as hell. Ben's Batman is a hulking figure, like Miller's from The Dark Knight Returns, and this suit obviously takes inspiration from that comic. His cowl has short ears and a huge bat symbol. Admittedly, at first I wasn't a huge fan of the cowl and symbol, but over time it's become one of my favorite Batman looks ever. All the details on the suit, from the gauntlets to the belt, the scalloped leathery cape, the boots, and just the overall look of the cowl work perfectly. It's a top-tier live-action Batsuit. Up next, we've got the Dark Knight. The Dark Knight suit is a bit divisive, but I think it's a wonderful live-action version of the normal armored Batsuit that we get. It's an extremely realistic version of the suit, which fits the world that Nolan created for his films so well. The armor plating with the tri-weave mesh underneath gives the suit depth and texture, while also making a lot of sense. It's also the first live-action Batsuit that gave Batman the ability to turn his neck and head, thanks to the armored plating being sectioned. One of my favorite things about this suit is that it looks incredible in all lighting. What you see is what you get. The cowl has moderate length ears, a good sculpt, and the belt and gauntlets all look great too. Switching back to inspiration from Frank Miller, the BVS armored suit. The normal BVS suit obviously took inspiration from The Dark Knight Returns, but Zack Snyder and Michael Wilkinson didn't stop there. The armored suit that Batman dons to fight Superman in the famous graphic novel is recreated beautifully in Batman v Superman. Fitting on top of the regular Batsuit, the armored suit adds weight and even more ferocity to Batfleck, and is needed in his battle against Superman. The armor just looks epic on screen and is awesome to see get damaged and worn down as the fight goes on. Jumping back to Nolan for the next suit, Batman Begins. The suit that started things off for the Dark Knight trilogy, a lot of people actually prefer this suit to the Dark Knight look, and it's easy to see why. It's more bulky and menacing and has a really defined look. It's all black, sleek, and imposing. The gauntlets and belt look great, and the fabric of the cape is also a really cool look, especially when it's flowing in the wind. And the narrative explanation for the physics of the cape is also a really cool touch. Like the Dark Knight suit, the symbol is all black against a black bodysuit, but it's a different shaped symbol that's closer to the typical bat symbol, something like we see in the Arkham games, before the Dark Knight went and changed it up. And back to Snyder for the last entry in this video. Nightmare Batman. Now, I know this suit is basically just the base BVS suit with a trench coat and goggles, but those design elements add so much. The coat, goggles, the wrapping around his gauntlets, the gun he's carrying that has a Joker card on the stock, it all adds so much personality and works to sell the aesthetic and narrative of the world that this suit is appearing in. It fits the look of the Nightmare timeline perfectly and is just really badass to see. But that wraps it up for this video. Again, if you haven't watched the first 2 parts of this series, be sure to go check it out. I'm still not entirely sure how long this series is going to end up being because there's just a ridiculous amount of Batsuits out there. In the next video, I might be talking about suits from animation, either animation or there's a different category, kind of subcategory of Batsuits that I'm thinking about covering. So be sure to check that one out. That'll be up next week. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like down below. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't and hit that notification bell. I'm putting out 2 videos every week, so be sure to be on the lookout for that. And thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.